Hello everyone, welcome to Needful Things again. Well, here we are. What are we doing? I say, no pattern, no problem. Let's just make us a pattern as we go. We're going to do a shawl, a triangle shawl. And I'm going to tell you how we started it. So, here we are. We're going to do a little magic circle. You can use whatever yarn you want, whatever size hook. Magic circle, one slip stitch, yarn over, and we're going to do 7 double crochets in our ring. Seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to pull my ring. I'm not going to pull it too tight yet. Okay. Then we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. One of those counts as the top of the stitch. Then right here we're going to yarn over and we're going to do a double crochet right back in that same stitch where the chain 4 is, right here, the very first one. Double crochet. So what we have there, that counts as a double crochet, a chain, and a double crochet. Chain 1, yarn over, skip a stitch, go in the next one. Whoops, slipped out. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. We're going to skip, excuse me. So we did our double crochet, chain 1. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, let me look what I've done. 1, 2, and chain 1, and chain 1. We did that, so we're going to skip this one, go in here, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip this one, and we're going to go to this in between these last 2 stitches, this one here. Let's see where we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in between this little space right here, the last stitch in this little area here, we're going to go in there, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 4, and then put a double crochet right back in that first stitch where the chain 4 is, and chain 1. Now I'm going to pull my thing a little bit tighter so we can get a straight line on the bottom, and we've done 4. There's 2 double, that counts as 2 double crochets, 2 double crochets, a space, 2 double crochets, a space, and 2 double crochets. Okay, so now we did the chain. We're going to yarn over, and in between, we're not going to go, we're on row 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to go in the spaces. In between the spaces of the double crochets is where we're putting the stitches. Okay, so we're going to go, we've done that one set there. We're always going to do those 2 there on the beginning like that, so that keeps us a straight line on the bottom. And we're going to yarn over, and we're going to go into this space right here between the two, they're really V stitches. We're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet all in that space. Then chain 1. We're going to move on into the next space. And we're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, oops, double crochet, chain 1, and those are all in that middle space there. You see? Now we're going to go into the next space, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, whoops. Now in between these last two and the V-stitch there, we're going to do in between these two stitches there like this. There's one, there's the chain. We're going to go in between there. Double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. Okay, and now we've got this. We've started our triangle, like so. 1, 2, 3, that's row 3. This is row 4. And on row 4, you're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Whoops. Turn your work, yarn over. In that very first stitch there, I believe that's how I did that. Okay, we're going to put, where did I put that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're going to do in this first stitch here, we're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, and then in our space here in between the V's, we're going to do a V-stitch basically, double crochet, whoops, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, go in the next space there, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and now we're in our middle space here, and what we're going to do there is 1, 2, 3, we're here, we're going to put it right in the middle there. So we've chained 1, we're going to go in our middle space between our our 2 V-stitches there. There's the middle space. We're going in there, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. Yarn over in our next space, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. You see, we're going up that point there, and we just do the same thing down that side. So in our next space, in between our next stitches is right here. We'll put this one, and then we'll do our last one on the bottom. So we've chained 1, we're going to this space, that little wiggly tail sticking out. We're going to this next space, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet, chain 1. Now we'll slip into this V-stitch here, where we'll put our double crochet, chain 1, and then we'll go into that top of that 4th stitch, because that would be not the 4th stitch, the 3rd one, because that's our chain. We have 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3. We're going to the 3rd one, because the 4th one is would serve as our chain stitch, if that makes sense. And then we'll chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Turn your work. And here's where we are now. I like to give it, you can give this a little more of a pull now, which will pull it more like a fan there at the bottom. That's the back side. This is actually the front side here. And I will put a little marker in there, because you know I like to keep up with what my side I'm working on. And this is very simple. I mean, I don't have a pattern. I'm just sitting down, picking up thread, and teaching you this. This is my right side. And we have a really nice triangle going there. We'll just keep building from that. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're on row 5. We did our 4 chains. Lord, that one got twisted. Yarn over, turn your work, go into that first stitch where the chains are and do the double crochet. And those 3 chains count as a stitch, a double crochet, and the 4th one counts as the chain in between the 2 and the V-stitch. Chain 1, go into our space between the V-stitches, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, yarn over, go into this next space here, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and now here's our point here with our 4, but we have a space here, so now we have to go into this space as well. So we're going to double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and now we're going to move into the space between these 4 here at the top of the peak of our little point here. And the same thing in between those 2 V-stitches in the space we're going to do. We've already done our chain 1, so we're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. And now we're there, and that's our little middle point there. Yarn over, skip into the next space between the V-stitches, double crochet, chain, double crochet, chain stitch, go into the next space, double crochet, chain stitch, double crochet in the same space for your V-stitch, like that, chain 1, go into this last space here, do your V-stitch, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, there's your V-stitch, chain 1. Now we're going to go into the last 2 stitches in the V-stitches inside of the V-stitch, do our last double crochet there, chain 1, and do the last double crochet in the 3rd chain. And if you might accidentally get in the 4th, it'll probably be fine. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yarn over and turn your work. Same. First stitch, you just did the chains. We're going to do our double crochet. Chain 1. Go into that first space between the V-stitches. Yarn over. Double crochet. Chain 1. Double crochet. That's our first V-stitch. Chain 1. Go into our next space, oops, I'm running out of yarn. So you get the picture, right? Let me hook on some more yarn here. I'll just take this apart and hook it onto this so I can continue teaching you. And this is a fun little project that's quick. You can make it as big as you want to. You can put really beautiful tassels on the bottom of it, or all down the side, or fringe, or, you know, rhinestones, whatever you want to put on it. Or you can just leave it plain, and maybe you can make a nice little border around the edge, although with the double crochets, the way we're doing it, it does sort of make its own border. I mean, as you can see, it has the little, and down here, with the double crochets. So where's my end there? I'm just going to slip this around here, tie it on there, slip this around here, boom. Excuse me, I need to get my cutting device. And so we're just going to cut this yarn as close as you can. Okay, now we'll continue. I did my chain stitch. Now we're in our next space. Double crochet, chain stitch, double crochet, that's for my V stitch, chain 1, go into the next space, double crochet, chain, double crochet, chain, there's your V stitch, next space, do a V stitch, which is your double crochet, chain stitch, double crochet, V stitch, chain 1. Now here we are at the point, so we're going to go in between the 4 stitches here, which are 2 V stitches. Yarn over, go into the space, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1 to end, and go into the next space, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, there's your V stitch, chain 1, okay, and always in this point here, the point of our work here, you're always going to do the same thing, a V stitch, a chain stitch, a V stitch, a chain stitch, and then into your next V stitch. And that's what's going to keep you a nice triangle shape and a nice point. And as it grows, you know, your work will be however big you want to make it. It'll go wider and wider and wider. Yarn over, go into the next space. Do your V stitch. Chain 1, go into the next space, do your V stitch, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, go into our last space here and do your V stitch, then chain 1, go into the V stitch of the last one and do a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet in the third stitch, or the third chain, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, yarn over, turn your work. It's beautiful, isn't it? And I like to keep this tail a little tighter, and you can tie that off later and it won't do that anymore. So it keeps a really nice straight edge there. And you just keep going. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See how quick we already did 6 rows? So we're on our next one. So we've turned our work. In the first stitch, we're going to add our double crochet. Chain 1. Go into our first space, which is right here after that stitch. Do a V stitch. Chain 1. Do a V stitch in the next space. Chain 1, do a V stitch in the next space, chain 1, do a V stitch in the next space, chain 1, do a V stitch in the next space, chain 1, and here we are in our middle section. We'll do our V stitch, chain 1, in the same space, do our next V stitch, chain 1, and we've done our point. Go into our next space, V stitch, chain 1, 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 and in our last space between the V stitches, do our last V stitch. Well, not really, but the other one's inside there. Chain 1, go into this inside the last V stitch, do our double crochet, chain 1, and then double crochet in the third chain if you can get in there. Like so, and here's where we are. Okay, so we're going to chain 4, yarn over and turn your work. Now we're back on the front side. Double crochet in that first stitch as well. Whoops. Chain 1, go into our first space there right after that, V stitch, chain 1, next space, and all our spaces we're doing our V stitches, chain 1, next space, chain 1, next space, chain 1, next space, chain 1, our last space on this side going up, chain 1, we're up that side, chain 1, now we're to our middle space in between our two at the top. And we'll do a V stitch, chain 1, do another V stitch in the same space, and a chain 1. And that's our top section, always our 4 there like that. We've done our chain 1 in the next space, V stitch. All the spaces get the V stitches. Chain 1, next space. Chain 1, next space. Chain 1, there'll always be that chain 1 in between. Chain 1, next space, the V stitch, chain 1, we're in our last space right here between the V stitches. Let's make our V stitch there. Chain 1, we'll go into the V stitch on the last one to make our first double crochet there, a chain 1, and then of course into our third chain we will place our last double crochet and chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, yarn over and turn your work. Okay, and here we are. Nice. She likes to slip open, but I really don't like to tie that down until the very end because I never know. I might decide I want to put something there or do something, you know, so I'll do that later. And I may change the color as I go down because I have a couple of colors I could put in here. Okay, so we've done our 4. So now we're going to do our double crochet there in that first stitch, chain stitch, and do our spaces. There's our first space with our V stitches and a chain in between each V stitch, chain, double crochet, chain, space, V stitch, chain, V-stitch in the next space, chain stitch in the next space, do our V-stitches, chain, chain, V-stitch, chain. Have space there in the middle at the point. We'll do the same thing we've been doing, which is V-stitch, chain, V-stitch, chain to get into the next one. Always the same. Yarn over, do a V-stitch, chain one, do another V-stitch in the same space, chain one, do a V-stitch in the next space, just like we've been doing, chain one, V-stitch, chain one, whoops, next space, V-stitch, chain one, next space, V-stitch. Also, you can, in your settings on your YouTube, if that's where you're watching it, you can slow the video down actually, if it's too fast for you. I don't think it will be though, probably, but I've slowed ones down before. I also repeated a lot, took them back and forth. Okay, we're our last V space here with our V-stitch. Chain one, double crochet in between those last two stitches, which is the V-stitch, with a V-stitch, doing the last double crochet in the third chain, chain four, 1, 2, 3, and 4, yarn over and turn your work. We're back on the front side now, and we're just going to continue to do that, and like I said, until it's as big as you want it to be. You know, and so I'm going to do a few more rows so you can see, and then I'll do some off camera and check back in with you, see what you're doing, and maybe I'll change colors and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that if I do that. So we'll just see. So let's do a little bit more. I'm not going to say what I'm doing because I've said it a million times. I'll try to do it a little bit slower. Sometimes when I try to slow it down, I miss stitches. Isn't that weird? I guess it's like you become like a machine. And you really have to pay attention to make sure you're doing your chain in between your V-stitches, because not just in the V-stitch itself, but the one in between here that makes our space. Because it's not very fun when you do like 40 rows of this and the next thing you know, you're like, oh no, there's no space, I forgot the chain stitch. So make sure you do that. And I do that sometimes when I get to going like 100 miles an hour. So I did my chain stitch up to our point where we'll do double crochet, chain, double crochet. That's our V stitch, chain 1, do another V stitch in the same space, and our chain to get to the next stitch. There we are up that side. Now we're going to go down this side. Isn't that nice? And I guess, I mean, for me this is the front side because I just know that's the side I started on. But actually, I guess it could be either way, right? Although there's definitely a front and back. If you look at the stitch, this will be the back because we're never changing sides. Everything is, well, we are changing sides, so. But I just like the way this side looks better. Maybe you'll like the other one, I don't know. They're very similar. Anyway, this is my front. So keep working on that, and I'll check back in with you in a little bit and see how long you've been making yours. See how big you think you want to go with it, and I'll show you what I'm doing if I want to change colors or anything like that, okay? So how are you coming along with your shawl pattern? It's very simple and easy, isn't it? I've got this far on mine. Here's the point of it. So it's like that. That's where I am. So I'll just do a little bit with you. I've chained. Now I'm going into my next space in between these V's. Doing my V stitch. Double crochet, chain, double crochet, all in that space to make my V stitch. Chain 1. And my V stitch in the next space. Chain 1, double crochet. There's my V stitch, chain 1. There's our next space right here. Do our next V stitch. And just continue in that pattern until you reach the size that you want. And we're just moving up the pattern. Now sometimes when I finish I like to do a reverse crochet on my edge because it really looks nice when you fold it around. So I don't know if I'll do that or not, but I might. You don't have to put an edge on it. When you're done, you're done. But it does look really nice and finished, you know, and a little bit more professional. I'm on the wrong side of my work right now. Or what I'm considering my wrong side. Whoops. I don't know, that felt a little strange. Let's do that again. And I suppose even if you don't want to crochet, you might enjoy watching me do this, or anyone do this. If you just, it's a great way to relax watching someone do it. And I have to say that when I'm sitting and crocheting, not under the camera, I would just be going and going and going, and next thing you know, I wake up an hour later and it's just still in my hands, but I'm not doing anything. It does relax you. So I imagine watching it might as well. Is that a point? I like to give it a little stretch to make sure my shape is proper. So it helps it get into its shape. So you don't freak out because it's bending in all weird directions. All you have to do is just give it a little stretch and a pull, and it goes right into its triangle shape. Now, I stopped counting my rows a long time ago because once you establish your pattern, there's really no need to count the rows. You just make it as big as you want it. And you don't need to know how many rows you have, unless you just want to write yourself down a pattern, because like I said, this is pattern schmattern. We had no pattern. We started from just yarn and a hook. So I didn't write a pattern. I just did it. So if you did it with me, you did the same thing. Perhaps you did write it down. We're coming to our last V stitch where we go inside that V, chain 1, do our double crochet in that third chain stitch, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, yarn over, and turn your work. And even if I'm not going to continue, I'm just always going to go back into that first stitch and do my first double crochet there and my chain, and often I'll go into the first space and do that one. And that's a good stopping place for you if you need to stop and go get something done, or whatever. like that's a good stopping place because you won't lose yourself and you won't forget to do that V in the first stitch there. And you won't skip. Often if you don't, if you stop here, you'll forget to do this first space sometimes. And it's very important to get all the spaces. So that's where we are now, and you just continue until you get it as large as you want, and I'll keep working on mine as well. And we'll see how far we go with our shawl. Okay, so I'm coming out on what's going to be my last row, so I can show you how to put an edging on here if you want to. So make sure that on your last row, going around your triangle shape, that your last row, you should be on the front of your work, and you'll go around, you know, the same way, go around the point, down the other side. And when you get to the other side, just stop there, and then I'll come back and show you what we're going to do there. So I'm on my last row. Like I said, I'm working on the right side of my work. Make sure your last row is on the right side of your work. I'm doing my V-stitch row. Chain 1, next space, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, all in the same space for my V-stitch, chain 1, move on to the next space, you know the drill. And so I'm just going to continue around my shawl to the point and then down the other side. And when you get down to the other side, stop there. Unless, I mean, if, you know, you make yours as big as you want to. You don't have to make yours the same size. I just want to have one that's I can work with to get on camera to show you. So this is like it could be an adult size, but it's a bit smaller than I would normally make it, you know, so I can get it on camera. So we're just going to continue around on the last row, working on the front side of your work, as I said, until you get to the other side. And then when you do your last one on the other side, I'll come back and show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so just keep working around your triangle, and I'll catch back up with you. Okay, so I'm now to the end of the row almost. I have a couple more V-stitches to put in. Chain 1, now I'm in where we do it in between the V-stitch, in the middle of the V-stitch. Double crochet, chain 1, and into the third chain, double crochet. And normally here we would do our chain 4 and turn and do another row, and if you're making yours bigger, you will. Excuse me. So here we are, and this is the bottom of our work, the straight edge on the right side. So we're on the front of our work when we finish this row. So we're going to chain 1, and we're not going back down the triangle anymore. We're going to work across our straight edge from the bottom where we started on that bottom straight row. And what we're going to do here is we chain 1, and so you have the space here. Right here, that's double crochet, double crochet, double crochet. Each row is double crochet. There'll be a double crochet or a chain on each end there, which is the same as a double crochet, all those stitches. So what we're going to do is in each one, we're going to do single crochet, okay? Single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet. So in each double row, in the space there, we're going to do 2 single crochets. And it will also open up our little space there to match this part a little better, so it blends in. And we're doing a row of single crochet all the way across the bottom row, the straight edge, 2 single crochets on each end of the double crochet rows. I hope that makes sense. It should. It's not difficult. And we're just going to go all the way across our straight edge, which will end up being the top of our shawl. Doing 2 singles in each row. Okay. That's all we're going to do to the end of this row. So here we are almost at the end of our shawl, and here we are. No pattern, no problem. And so we'll give us a nice edge there all the way across, and then when you get to the end, stop there and I'll come back and show you what we're going to do after that, okay? Okay, so I've come to the end of my single crochet row. And here's, it just gives you a nice edge there. And you can do it around the bottom part if you want to as well, but I would do that after I finish this row. And then just when you get back to the other end, when you finish what we're going to do here, just keep going around if you want to do the edge on the bottom, which I probably would do if I was making this for someone, because I really like, the nice finished edge it gives you. So okay, we're at the end of the row of the single crochets on the straight edge row. Chain 1, and I'm going to go back into the very first stitch, which is really difficult, but you can get in there. And then pull the yarn through and do a reverse crochet. Okay, go to the next one. And once you get the first couple of them, then the rest are faster. You just have to have your hand loose. I have a video for the reverse crochet if you don't know how to do it. And we're just going to reverse crochet all the way back across the single crochet row we just did. And we're doing that, of course, in the front loop of the stitch of the row that we just did, because we're going to use that other loop to come back across to finish our row of reverse crochet. And so we're just going to do that all the way across, of course, in the front loops. You can do it really fast if you're used to it. I'm doing it slower, so hopefully you can see. I'm not actually teaching it, but I do have a video for that. It's very simple. And then we'll finish that off. We'll go all the way back across this row to the other side here with our reverse crochet, and then we'll go into that row of back loops. When we finish this, you'll see there's a row of back loops right here. Right there's a row of back loops on that roll, and we'll work back across this way to finish our reverse crochet row. So continue doing your reverse crochet across. Keeping a loose tension so you have a nice pretty rope look. Okay, so I'm going to finish mine across off camera, and you do yours. And then when you get to the other end, I'll meet back up with you and show you what we're going to do after that. Okay, so I'm coming to the end of my reverse crochet. I have a couple more stitches. My last one. And I also am not going to tell you to do a chain here. I'm just going to go right into the back loop and do a single crochet. And you see, here's the back loops I'm talking about, like right here. And just do a single crochet. And all the back loops. All the way to the end of the row. And you can just, on your array you just did, you can just sort of push it forward a little bit. And when you push it forward, that loop will present itself right there, you see? And that's what it looks like. It pushes it forward a little bit, so it makes it more pronounced and gives you a really nice edge on your work, you see? Let me hold it up closer. And it gives you a nice finish to your shawl. So continue that all the way across to the end. Work into the last stitch, pull your thread through, cut it, and tie in your stitches. So in your thread, your tails. And if you want to put a single across the bottom, you can do that as well. If you want to do this on the bottom, you can do that as well, but I'm going to leave mine open. So finish that up and I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so here I am. I'm at the end of my last row of crochet. Now if you wanted to go across the bottom, this would be the time you could do it. Just turn. I would chain one here. And then just do the same thing. I'd put like one single here. And then in each double row, like we did before, I'd put two singles. And you can do this all the way across the bottom. In each open space. Like so. And if you wanted to, you could do the reverse crochet. But for my purposes here, to give you this pattern that we started with no pattern, this is going to be my ending. So I'm just going to cut my yarn, close it off, and I'll sew that in. I no longer need my guidance to tell me what's the right side, because now I know this is the right side. And there's the top, there's the bottom. So I'm going to move it onto the larger part of the table so you can see it. So here's our finished shawl with the nice edging that we just put on it, and you can do that on the bottom if you'd like.